Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another Incursio the Gamer D&D build. Today I've thrown you all in for a loop. You expected Limbus Company, you expected anything else, maybe even Monopoly or Minecraft, but no. Today we're going to be building Otto. Now, who is Otto? Otto is a real-life person who covers songs. Sometimes anime songs, most of the time anime songs. Now, she has not shown her face in real life, so she is represented by this little avatar here. And yes, she has created and written and sung her own music, but most of the time she covers songs. She is a wonderful vocalist and sings quite well, in my personal opinion, as I quite enjoy the J-pop. Now, Otto. In D&D, I have created her as a female hobgoblin, cleric 1 bard 5. As a matter of fact, level 6 is probably too much for someone like Otto. She does not need all these stats. Speaking of stats, let's go through them. Low strength, dex, con, intelligence. Intelligence can always be upped, but for the stats that I rolled, I dumped them all into wisdom and charisma, specifically for cleric and bard, respectively. She has a walking speed of 30, hit points of 45, AC of 12, initiative 3, and these are the saving throws all dumped into charisma and wisdom. Advantage to end or avoid the charm condition, because that is what she does. She's the charmer in this case. 15, 11, 17 respectively for the passive senses, 60 feet dark vision, because during her performances, little spoiler here, she's always in a cage, so that way people can't see her face. We'll speak a little about that later. But she's going to need that dark vision to maybe see visual cues, or take a look at the audience, see if everything's all good. Now, here's going to be your proficiencies, and now for your skills. Now, it's a little bit difficult since we haven't seen Otto in real life, in person, full build, face, etc., etc. So I put proficiencies in acrobatics, arcana, insight, intimidation. Why arcana, you might ask? Well, she's a performer and she's going to do a little bit of magic on us. For all of the rest, you have half proficiency because, well, she is a bard. Performance and persuasion will be your expertises. That's the bread and butter, of course, performance of Otto. We move on. Our actions. You have the mace. Now, the mace isn't required. She isn't a combatant. However, the mace I flavored as one of those Japanese light sticks for performances. You see them in, say, anime or even real life. They do exist. You have, of course, your dash, disengage, dodge, grapple, shove for bonus actions. Now, Fey Gift, Hospitality. That comes with Hobgoblin. You'll see why in features and traits why I took it. 2-weapon fighting. Sanctuary, Misty Step. Bardic Inspiration, that will be your bread and butter, once again. Fey Gift is great, however you're going to be using it less than Bardic Inspiration. For Fey Gift, you have Hospitality, Passage, Spite, and lastly, of course, Mantle Inspiration grants temporary HP to up to 5 creatures you see within 60 feet, and they can immediately use their reaction to move their speed without provoking opportunity attacks. Consider this a performance buff. You're going to be seeing a lot of this. Reactions, opportunity attack, other enthralling performance. Takes 1 minute to perform, you can charm some creatures. Fortune of the Many, +3 bonus to any saving throws that you fail. Voice of Authority, that comes from your cleric subclass. When you cast a spell with first level or higher and target an ally with that spell, the ally can use their reaction immediately to make one weapon attack against a creature of your choice that you can see. How inspiring Otto is. She is an amazing artist. I advise you guys go listen to her, by the way. Amazing stuff. All the limited use stuff, you guys get the gist. It's pretty much the same thing as before. Now, spells. Dancing Lights and Light are pretty much in reflection of her performances. She's always in a cage, which is dark. However, there are many flashing lights around her. So this way you cannot see her face, but you can see the beautiful visuals that she prepared for you during her performances, concerts. Guidance, although she is quite the introvert, she, I'm sure, is willing to, give a little nudge for you in the right direction to fulfill your destiny. Call it that. Vicious Mockery comes with Bard. Thaumaturgy. Thaumaturgy, booming voice. That is very fitting for the Otto concert. And friends. Who wouldn't want to be friends with Otto? She also had a technically meet and greet. It's shaking hands while she's inside a little black box. But moving on from that. First level spells. You have Bless, Charm Person, Command Heroism, Sanctuary, Thunderwave. You can always change these spells. However, what I did personally was take spells that don't harm others. Rather, the only spell that does harm others is Thunderwave, because of that booming, wonderful voice. con 16 saving throw because of Bard, but the others are going to be for Cleric. As you can see, Heroism, I accidentally did take it twice. I apologize. But you can, remember, always take other spells. This is auto. You have Aid, Calm Emotions, Enhance Ability, Lesser Restoration, Misty Step, Suggestion, etc., etc., etc. Auto is a performer. She does not fight. It's sort of like that make peace, not war, make love, not war. That sort of mentality. Otto is, however, such a great artist that I don't understand why people would want war. I'm glazing. My bad. Anyways, so, inventory. She has her costume, of course. She has a couple of items, and technically, yes, you can equip this shield and scale mail or whatever armor you have for her, but she won't need it, or even if she does need it, it's not in character for her to wear armor like this. Yes, she does play Minecraft, of course, and with Minecraft, she does have that Blessed. She also has, a couple of cleric spells that will damage the undead, as in her Minecraft live streams, she has been seen to hate zombies and skeletons in particular. She hates them so much that she goes out of her way to kill them. And that's, just a little snippet, a little fun fact. But anyways, moving on. The mace is the light stick. She has her crossbow and crossbow bolts for long-range combat if need be. Alms box, backpack with simple gear, nothing else. Now, features and traits. Starting off with class. You're going to start off with Cleric, so you can take Persuasion and Insight. Next, you're under spell casting, of course, Wisdom, Divine Domain, you're going to want Order Domain. This way, you can have, of course, Voice of Authority. Additionally, you gain Intimidation. Voice of Authority is wonderful. Remember, it's the one where you help that one creature, they immediately take their reaction to attack a creature of your choice. Wonderful. Moving on to the Bard. Now, Songhorn, Performance. Performance is going to be what you want. Songhorn, you can choose whatever instrument you want, really. Bardic Inspiration comes with it. You're going to want College of Glamour, however. You can take Eloquence, but I personally prefer Glamour because Auto is glamorous, and Eloquence doesn't have as much versatility in regards to just a performance-based character. And speaking of which, where all the other characters were combat-oriented and you could roleplay as you wished, Auto is very roleplay-oriented and very not combat-oriented. She helps during roleplay moments. Charisma being high especially helps with that. Expertise, you're going to want to take Performance and one other that you have proficiency in of your choice. Mantle of Inspiration, of course. Enthralling Performance. 5 creatures, listen to 1 minute. DC 16 Wisdom or Charmed. And for the feat, I took Fey Touched. This is because then you can get Blessed. I like Blessed, me personally, if you will. You're going to want to take Charisma, so that way you can get that Charisma up to 20. Species now. You were going to take Hobgoblin. Well, I took Hobgoblin personally, not just because of the Wisdom Charisma score up again, but because of Fey Ancestry. Now, Fey Gift, Fey Ancestry, same thing. Fey Gift, you can take the bonus action to give a help action to one of your allies 3 times per long rest. You can choose Hospitality, helping them gain HP, Passage, increasing their walking speed, or Spite. Anyone who attacks your ally has disadvantage. It is wonderful. These are buffs. These can come with flavor it as an inspiration, if you will. That her singing's so great that you immediately just want to do better. I'm glazing again, but ignore that. Fortune there are many, of course, and now for your feats. The only one you're going to take is Fey Touched. You don't need any other feats for now, and of course you don't even need Fey Touched, really. Remember, level 6 is really high for Auto. For background, she is chaotic good, popular by demand, an entertainer. Female with faded teal eyes in some of her sprites. Medium size of 5'2", 100 and some pounds, maybe. 22 years old, pale skin, and black with blue undertone hair. I put a silly little reference there. And you can add whatever you want for notes and extras. Now, remember, I only make these level 6, so that way you guys can build off from here, but if you guys need a level 3 campaign version of Auto, that is also very possible. You don't even need to take the subclass in Bard. You don't even need to take that one cleric level. All you need is a great performance stat. Now, thank you all so much for watching this one. Sorry I threw you in for a loop, but I really wanted to cover this one. Alright, that's it for today. Goodbye and good night.